Hello and welcome to the PolyTools channel. I just wanted to make a quick video because I saw a couple people doing this already, and I thought, let's make a video about the tier list of what places you should be using as a modern content creator. I need to fix this microphone stand, it keeps liking to sag. So I'm going to go through, some of these don't matter anymore, like MySpace, obviously, and Vine doesn't exist anymore. However, some of the other ones people still kind of get confused with, and just because it's catching my eye, I'm going to start off with Facebook here. I think Facebook is C tier. If anything, I really want to put it in D because in reality, yes, it is underrated, as Gary Vee says, in some ways, but for the most part, most people aren't using it. Only the older generations are using it. If you want to use it, then the best thing to do would be to use it as a place to put your reels and use the groups. Those are the only two things. And if you're not even for a content creator, you can use the marketplace. But literally, those are the only three reasons why you would ever use Facebook. And I think if you have the right kind of niche for a group, you can go really kind of not viral, but super growth. And with the reels, those can also do really well too, in addition to Instagram. Make sure you're posting them separately, though, I feel like, from what I can hear. The next thing is I'm going to go with Quora. You probably didn't think about Quora, but I'm going to put Quora in the C tier as well because they've gone downhill quite a bit. But I have over 700,000 views on Quora because I just went on there and answered questions. And what I would actually consider doing nowadays is using LinkedIn's question system, where that way you can actually kind of keep it all on the same platform. But Quora is really interesting for thought leadership and finding ideas for different blog posts or videos you want to make. And so that's why it's not quite like D tier. And it used to be a lot better back when I started doing content. That's why I was on there. It was a lot better back then. However, nowadays it's just not really that great. But I wanted to put it on here. Next is actually Twitter. And I think that priority wise, most people are not going to agree with me. I'm going to put it in D tier because Twitter is a crap storm. It's one of those things where, first off, it's full of politics, and that's really not always the greatest thing. But on top of that, Twitter is getting so broken now. You'll go on there and the interface is crappy. You'll end up getting the weird things in your feed. You'll get things you don't want to see in your feed. I do quite like the For You tab, which I know a lot of my peers do not. They only like the Following tab. Fair enough. But when I'm on the For You tab, I find people who are in my niche or niches, and I like to network on there. And that's really the only redeeming quality is the networking aspect. But even then, you have to shift through all of the politics and people just kind of complaining all the time. Next, I want to put Twitch still as B tier. And so it should be A, but given how lacking Twitch has been with discoverability and changes and taking care of their streamers and all that jazz, they really have not been that great. And again, I want to rank Twitter higher. I want to rank Twitch higher. But there are just better alternatives to these platforms now. Threads is definitely a better platform, but I don't see this on this list. But I would put Threads in A tier for sure. And then next, let's go with Instagram. Oh, I don't know exactly which one I would put it into. I think right now Instagram has the potential to be S tier, but for now I'm going to put it in A tier because Instagram has this sort of catch-all. If you like stories like Snapchat, you have stories. If you like to do posts, you can do posts. If you want to do reels, you can do reels, short form video. If you want to even do live streams, you can do live streams. It has basically every feature of all the different platforms all in one place. Everyone's trying to kind of emulate that, and even like TikTok and YouTube have been trying to do some like regular posts or image posts or something like that with the community tab, for example. But in reality, it's really not even close. And I kind of wish they would just forget about Facebook and really put all the interest into Instagram because Instagram has way more potential to actually be a universal platform. Now, it is still generally post focused, so generally Instagram images, but reels have done so well on there. I generally have to don't post to the main feed with my reels because they just don't do well on the main feed and I end up losing followers if I put too much on the main feed. However, I think that reels posted by themselves on the reels feed generally do pretty well. I really enjoy doing stories. It's how I share my life with my followers and family and friends. And so I definitely think that Instagram is A tier. Next is TikTok. And as much as I want to put it in A tier, I'm actually going to put it in B tier because TikTok has gone downhill. Not only has reach gone downhill, I've been on there since it was Musical.ly back in 2018 when it got acquired later on. I remember that shift from Musical.ly to TikTok. It was actually kind of wonderful. I got a whole bunch of like Chinese content, Bollywood content, even some like Brazilian content. It was people all around the world starting to see each other's content. And that phase showed me a taste of what the future of social media is going to be like. And not only that, I saw so many creators explode in growth over the years. Like Call Me Chris, I saw her when she was less than 10K. Now she has over 10 million, maybe 15 million. I don't even remember now at this point. But that explosiveness and the virality aspect has gone downhill. You really can't do it anymore. And so as much as I would like to put TikTok higher, it might even get banned in the US too. We don't know for sure just yet. And so it's one of those things where I can't really say anything about it. Obviously, this doesn't exist anymore. Reddit, I'm going to put into D tier 2 because it's very specific. As a content creator, you want to share your content. But if you get told that you're being spammy or being too salesy, pushy with your content, you're going to either get blocked or downvoted to hell on Reddit. Reddit is a place where you have to follow Gary Vee's jab, 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 right hook. And just give, and then eventually, throw in a right hook or something like that. Or if you have a blog post that's very relevant to a person, you can try to give it to them, but even then, you might still get in trouble for it. Reddit is one of those places where you can go major viral. Like, Reddit is the front page of the internet. TikTok is the front video of the internet. Both places are where the meta trends happen. You want to know what's going on in the world? Those are the two places to check. Even 4chan, even though it's faster in some ways, it gets the news faster, it's not necessarily the greatest when it comes to really understanding the communities around it. But Reddit has that potential. That's why it's not F tier, because you actually can use it, but I would put it at a lower priority to everything else. And then, of course, we have Vine, S tier. No, I was kidding. So let's go to some of the bigger names here. YouTube. YouTube is the only one I think I'm going to put in S tier for now, maybe, because YouTube has, like I said, some of the most feature-rich aspects to these different platforms. Ironically, I'm having an issue today with this channel not actually showcasing my playlist for videos like this. I don't know why. And so YouTube obviously has some issues to take care of. They announced longer shorts, so up to 3 minutes, and yet it's completely broken. It doesn't work at all. And so it's one of those things where, sure, like YouTube is great, but there's a lot of issues with it. However, if you want to grow as a content creator, you need to be on YouTube. Even if you're a blogger, start a YouTube channel. Even if you're a podcaster, start a YouTube channel. Even if you're not posting anything to it just yet, just start it, lay claim to your name on there, that kind of thing. And because at some point you're going to decide either you want to turn your written or audio content into videos, or you're just going to start making videos in general. With the community tab, you can even get away with just being like kind of a tweeter, if you will, just like on all Twitter, throwing out ideas. Community's getting pushed, so you put a whole bunch of ideas onto community tab. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this and put it on my community tab as well. And so it's just one of those things where you have a lot of potential for growth. And shorts have always had that kind of virality since they came out as well. And so I'm really excited to keep building on there, and it's the only platform I really care about anymore. I mean, I enjoy using Instagram, so I care about it in that regard. But as a content creator, I don't get much out of Instagram. I don't get much traffic and that kind of thing. Next is actually Pinterest. I'm going to put Pinterest in B tier because, like Reddit, you have a potential to go really viral. However, Pinterest is a lot more open, and they're not going to be as pushy about you pushing yourself. In fact, that's kind of what Pinterest is kind of known for in the creator world, where you're putting out recipes or blog post thumbnails, vertical thumbnails, and leading them traffic to your site. They're kind of used to that kind of mindset. And so what I often do is that I have automation set up. I am on Pinterest very actively. I personally am never on Pinterest. And so anytime I make a new short form video, I syndicate it to Pinterest, and I'm actually going to do a new campaign for LinkedIn and Facebook. And so I'm also just going to re-add Pinterest to it so I can just do it again, because Pinterest is pretty chill like that. And then every Instagram image I have it sent over as a image for Pinterest, and every YouTube video, podcast, and blog post gets shared automatically to Pinterest. And so I have a pretty active strategy. It's all, for the most part, right hooks, but it's still one of those things where now I'm on Pinterest, and it's going to be kind of useful down the line. In fact, at one point, I got more impressions on Pinterest than all my other platforms I was sharing my short form videos combined. And now it's pretty equal, but like the fact that I'm getting that much traffic or that much attention on Pinterest was interesting. The next one I'm going to put is LinkedIn. Now I kind of want to put it right here in the middle, because a lot of people would put LinkedIn right now as S tier because of just how viral potential growth you could have. But in my experience, I have not experienced any of that really. And it's one of those things that's very frustrating to me. I went on there and wrote articles every week. I went on there and have answered questions, or I've commented on various people's posts and stuff like that, but I'm not getting that much traffic. And sure, maybe I need to create more content on there, which I'm trying to do on the PolyInnovator page. I didn't want to spam my personal audience as much, and so that's why I don't necessarily post a lot of stuff on my personal page on LinkedIn, even though that's kind of where the virality would more likely happen. So I put personally LinkedIn as A tier, but I think some people would probably consider it as S tier, considering how much growth you can do right now. Other than that, let's put Snapchat here, because Snapchat's, I don't want to say it's dead, because people still use it, people still technically go viral on it, but Snapchat's not important, and there's no way to schedule your videos to it really for the most part. It's just frustrating. There's no point. Now, anything else am I forgetting when it comes to current social media platforms? I don't think so. But, and then a couple other ones just to mention, like if you're a music artist, you definitely should put your stuff on SoundCloud. If you're an artist, you should go on DeviantArt. If you want to build a community, you should build a Discord. I wish Vine would be brought back. And so a lot of these are all way outdated. 4chan. So these are the platforms you need to worry about as a content creator. And really, you should just cut out this whole bottom section and focus on this top section here. I think you still should be on Twitch. You definitely should still be on TikTok. But it's getting to that point now where it's like, for both of those platforms, really should you? Because there's different alternatives to TikTok now. Not just shorts and reels, but there's actually a new blockchain tool or platform coming out that's going to replace TikTok too, more than likely, if TikTok gets bought out. I'm being kind of, not as objective about it, but I think that platform has the potential to do it. And Pinterest is one of those things where, depending on your niche, Pinterest could be great, Pinterest could be iffy. For me, I'm kind of in the middle, a little bit leaning more towards iffy, but I still find that I like Pinterest. I like the idea of being on Pinterest, especially since some of my stuff is around self-development, so I kind of fit on there. But for me, it's not a place where I should make it a priority. For some people, it is, so you should take a look at it. But these first three platforms right here, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, you should definitely be making a priority almost regardless of what your niche is. And so yeah, that's kind of what this whole video is about. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'm not missing any platform. I'm trying to think. But yeah, all right. Like I said, Threads is somewhere around here, and all the blockchain social networks are down here in D and F tier, like when it comes to like Blue Sky and all that jazz. Cheers.